Hey everybody, this is Joe from the Faith and Freedom Show. There's a pastor out there, his name is Jamie Plunkett, and he made a tweet the other day, and that tweet is gaining some traction. I've seen it passed around in Christian circles, and I want to address it. Real quick, this is what it says. As a pastor, I want to encourage folks to avoid toxic theology today and every day. And then he goes on to quote, "No matter what happens, Jesus is king," is a form of faith that invalidates the lived experience of faithful people all over the country who have been harmed by this administration. And I want to kind of address this because, Jamie, I think that you're wrong. I don't think that that's toxic to say that Jesus is king. I don't think to say that whatever happens, Jesus is king. Because guess what, Jamie? No matter what happens, Jesus is king. That's all there is to it. I don't understand how that could be toxic, and I'd like a little bit of explanation if you wouldn't mind. If we look at Paul in the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 1, he says, "Let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those that exist have been instituted by God." So, okay, guess what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who wins this election. It could be Donald Trump. It could be Joe Biden. It could be person X. It doesn't matter. And what we're trying to say when we say it doesn't matter what happens, Jesus is still king, is a repeat of something along the lines of what Paul said in Romans chapter 8. Starting in verse 34, it says this, "Who is to condemn? Jesus Christ is the one who died, more than that, who was raised, who is at the right hand of God, who indeed is interceding for us. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or danger or sword? As it is written, for your sake, we are being killed all the day long. We are being regarded as sheep to be slaughtered." As we continue on in the book of Romans, after chapter 9, 10, and 11, where God is talking about the elect and who those people are, it gets into chapter 13 where he connects the dots and he says, "Let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those that exist have been instituted by God." So what are we saying as Christians? What we're saying is, our hope is not here on earth, but our hope is in the future, and it is in heaven. Now, should we stop fighting for justice? No, we shouldn't. Should we turn a blind eye to injustices and inequities that we see in our country? No, we shouldn't. But when we see those injustices and when we see those inequities, ultimately, we could look at it big picture, and say, ultimately God will win. Ultimately God is in control. He is still king. He is still sitting on the throne. Nothing, not Donald Trump, not Joe Biden, not Nancy Pelosi, not the Senate, not the House of Representatives, the Supreme Court. It doesn't matter what happens. So, Jamie, if this video makes it to you, if you happen to get a glimpse of it and you take the time and you listen to it, I would like to know, what do you mean by toxic theology? Because what I'm seeing is theology, not toxic theology, just straight biblical theology.